Hi friends. Normally, this is the part of the video where you'd see my head talking, but I somehow got this like stupid wound on my forehead, and I really don't feel like being on camera because it looks like I have a third eye made of blood, and it's gross. Well, it's not that gross. I'm exaggerating. But anyway, I didn't feel like being on camera. So instead, I'm having this five-headed bunny wash mitten talk for me. Back when I had a graphic design firm, well, I still do, but when my graphic design firm was more of a big deal concern, I used to say that these five bunny heads were my board. Those are my corporate overlords. But anyway, now they're retired and they just kind of hang out, and they're just doing the talking for me, I guess. But anyway, this is a quick reseller update, and the news today is that I went to my first actual estate sale in a really long time. I want to say less than a year, but good, like, I don't know, 6 months or something, 8 months. Because of COVID, I've been really conservative and cautious, trying to, not get anyone else sick or get sick myself. So anyway, I'm fully vaccinated now, and this was actually an outdoor sale, so I decided to just go for it, and just almost just to get back into practice, less that I wanted to buy anything. In fact, I didn't really want to buy anything because I am moving house soon and I don't want to acquire anything new in the interregnum of the next, what, 3 or 4 weeks, 4 weeks that I'll have to move. So yeah. And it was really weird because I went to this estate sale. The address didn't sound familiar or anything. And I get there and it looked so familiar. Like there was a driveway with a garage and a tent in the backyard full of stuff. I was like, this looks exactly like the last estate sale I went to last spring or whatever. And I thought, that's some crazy deja vu, and I just sort of checked it out. But then I asked the people, and they were like, "Yeah, we had a sale here before." So it seems like the last sale I went to was also the first sale I went to. Weirdly enough, it was not nearly as good this time because I guess they were selling the dregs from last time or something. But that's fine because I didn't want to buy anything, right? What's cool is last time it just brought back some memories of some stuff I bought there. Like I got some really cool diaries and ledgers there that have all sold except for the one that for some reason I haven't listed yet. And they all made a really good profit. So it was exciting to revisit the scene of the crime, as it were. And as it turns out, I did actually buy something. I spent $3, and two of those dollars were for myself, and one was on the business. So I'll show you what I got for my dollar. Actually, the bunnies are gonna go away right now. So I got this little stack of photos. They had like a big pile of, uh, family photos sitting on the table, and I went through and found a few things I thought were cool. This one, I don't know if you can tell, but all that white is snow. This is 1938, or as it is labeled. And there must have been a huge blizzard. That sounds kind of familiar, actually. And somebody has dug a hole through the huge snowbank in front of the store. It's a cool picture. And I'll look up what this store is and where and everything and put that in the listing. So that's a cool snapshot. And then this one I just picked up because it's people holding big fish from fishing, and for some reason people like to buy those photos. And aside from that, it's dated 1964. Also, it's a woman with a big fish, and it is marked that groupers fish, Clearwater, Florida, and it has the people's names. So Clearwater, Florida stuff sells pretty well, like postcards and things. So thought this would be a good one. And This one I just liked. I like the picture. Like, what is that kid doing? Um, and it's marked where it is, and like, look at that car. I have to figure out what kind of car that is. But this is terrible of me. God, how many photos, if I may go on a tangent for a second. So many photos say something disparaging about the person in them, written by that person. Always women. Terrible of me. Like, I think that would be her. And it's just like women have been so down on themselves, like for time immemorial, and it's so sad. I mean, yeah. Anyway, Pillager Bridge. I have to look that up, but it says something different on the front. It says, I guess that says Pillinger. It just looks different. So I'll find out where that is and what kind of car this is. Like, look how skinny that tire is. And it's a cool little photo. Then we have, I don't know about this one. It's kind of confusing to me because the women's clothes are of an earlier date than the men's, but I guess she might be dressed up for something. I want to see if I can figure out what that sheet music is. And it's an oversized sheet. Looks like from the 20s, and looks like the 20s in general. This is a nice craftsman interior. You can see the tile on the fireplace is probably green, like celadon tile, and the carving on the fireplace, and even those woodwork details behind her in this stained glass or plaque or whatever it is. It's so craftsman. It's really cool. And the mirror and the American flag, just a cool photo. So I guess they're just, she's just hanging out in her mob cap or bonnet. I guess it's a mob cap, singing some songs, and he's playing the fiddle, and I don't know, it's a cool one. This one, obviously somewhat newer, is marked Lakeland, Florida, Beatrice on the Lawn, February 1969. And this hotel you can see is Lakeshore Hotel. So that might be good as it's a identifiable place, Beatrice on the Lawn. Here we have another picture of a canoe on a car. This is the second one I've had recently. This one isn't as good because it's blurrier and it's not as good a picture, but again, figure out what kind of car that is. And it's just like quintessential American car camping cabin scene. So this one doesn't have any info. This is marked Busch Gardens, so people like that stuff. And then this is a very interesting picture. It's a band, and it's marked Ironwood Municipal Band, Walter Daly, director. And then I'm not sure what this says, like Coroners, spelled funny, Goodwill Tour, 1947. So some sort of post-war thing, but cool band picture. They're all in uniform. I can try to find out some more about this. A very dramatic pose there with the conductor. And then also I found a couple real photo postcards, and these are Europe, but I thought they were worth looking into nonetheless. So this is it's actually written in Norwegian, and it's written this way and then this way in the old style. I think this probably dates to about 1907-ish. But it's quite old. It's got some Norwegian stamps. I don't know what it says. And I'll look up this in Google Translate, but it looks like it's a funeral. And that's the casket, and there's someone paying their respects, and they're moving, so it's blurred. And then there's all these people standing around in dark clothes and with umbrellas, and then this hotel somebody has labeled, and I don't know what that's about. Boo. Oh, I don't know. I'll have to look into it more, but I thought this was a very interesting image nonetheless. And then here's another one, also written in Norwegian. This one is dated 1906, so maybe the other one is earlier than I think. Again, I don't know what it says. I don't read Norwegian, but it's it's a named building. We've got a bunch of people in uniform here, and a horse and a mule, and it just seemed like, again, an interesting image that I could easily find out more about. That was a reasonably good haul, and it won't take up much space, and I'll be able to move these quite easily. So that's what I got for my $1. And I also got 2 books, and this has nothing to do with reselling, but I've been wanting to read this about British stuff that translated into American stuff and culture. And this has been on my to read list, and I got it for $1, so that's cool. And then I also got this book, and this is by Judith Flanders, who has written extensively about the Pre-Raphaelites and arts and crafts movement, which is one of my pet topics. And there's like a project I want to someday do, screenplay project involving those art movements. So I'm always looking for books that relate. And of course, inside the Victorian home, I love reading about domestic cultural stuff. That's like one of my favorite history topics. So this was a great find. Got all kinds of, pre-Raphaelite friends pictures in here. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, nothing to do with reselling, but except for learning things about the past. But I thought that was a good score for $3, huh? Anyway, so that was estate selling today. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is since I'm moving, I've been reorganizing my inventory somewhat, trying to make sure everything's where it should be, and also just consolidating and making sure that everything is listed. That's something I've wanted to do for a really long time, like go through and just double check on eBay, because I suspect things fall off. And I don't know why this happens exactly, but sometimes things that should automatically relist just don't. And it's especially true with older stuff from back before they changed the whole way good to good until canceled works. So I've been systematically going through my oldest stuff and making sure that it's still listed. And it's really interesting because, like, for example, is a list I was just jotting as I was moving things into new folders in this bin, consolidating. And then I went through and made sure they're all listed, and all the ones that are highlighted were not listed. All the stuff that I'm like, why doesn't this sell? Because it's not listed. Yeah, like all the yellow stuff, not listed. So let that be a, what do you call it, cautionary tale. Like, check your oldest listings and make sure they're still listings, or things that just like aren't selling inexplicably for ages, make sure they're still listed. So now I have all kinds of really old items that I'm going to need to reshoot eventually, but at least I know, and at least I'm not storing things for no reason that aren't listed. That's the update in reseller land with the 5 pink bunny heads. And I'm going to try to do some what sold videos and some info videos again soon. All right. Take care. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. And thank you. And take care.